Hey everyone, it's Joy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have two cards for you using new products from Spellbinders. I am starting with the fresh picked berries from Spellbinders. I am using Cardstock Warehouse's Blue Intenso and Cipria, along with another one that I can't, it's the green one and I can't even pronounce it, but I will have it linked for you guys below. I have done all of my die cutting. This is a really beautiful background. It's really super simple to put together, and it fills up the whole A2 size card, which I think is really great, especially if you're someone who may have a harder time with layouts, or you just really like something that completely fills up your whole background of your card. Of course, there's quite a bit of die cutting, but it does go pretty fast. All the bigger flowers or leaves that I did in the gold glitter cardstock, that's gold touch cardstock, that was one pass with the die cutting. Each of the green and pink flowers, that was just 2 times, and the little gold pieces were just 2 times. So it does go pretty quick. So I'm putting together all of my layers here. I really wanted to have just soft, pretty colors, but a lot of gold. So I did use a gold glitter cardstock and a gold mirror cardstock. There is a second card using some other products from Spellbinders after this, so definitely hang out to watch that because I'm using some of their wax bead mixes, which are really pretty. But now I'm placing the little gold toppers to these berries here, and this is where I use the gold mirror cardstock. And I'm just guessing by size where these pieces go. And I'm going to put those in place. Then for that background, this is the Blue Intenso, the A2 size, and it's so pretty. But these pieces just kind of fit in, and you do have a nice little border. You could also do like a 3D embossing folder or regular embossing folder on the background and then pop all of this up with foam tape. I thought about doing that, but I opted to not because I really wanted all that gold glitter to be what you kind of noticed. I'm going to adhere all of the little berries on these pieces using just a little bit of the Barely Art liquid glue and popping these in place. It's so super simple, but it's such a fun design. And there's a few other designs that are like this. This was the one that I picked because I just thought it was so pretty. Let's finish up with the last couple ones here. And then we can adhere this all to the background. I wanted to get a nice good layout to make sure everything's kind of even. And I think it turned out pretty good. So I'm going to start with this piece here up at the top. I'm just using some dots of glue, and then I can line that up, making sure it fits around all the other pieces that have not been glued down. And that seems to work nicely. Now I'm going to do the next biggest one. And then I can just lay that down in place again, make sure that the leaves are working around each other, making sure that it's fairly straight on the sides and the bottom. So you can kind of push that over. So I only added glue to the top half and then added glue to the bottom half to make sure that I could get it placed where I needed it to. That bottom piece was easy. And then there's the top piece that's just a bunch of leaves that I will put in just a second. I want to finish gluing that piece down. And then I'm going to use some sentiments. What did I use the sentiments from? Oh, Honeybee Stamps Mini Messages. They have this stamp set here, and then there's a Mini Messages die, and it says, "Thank you for your kindness." I do need to make a lot of thank you cards. There's quite a bit of thank you cards I need to send out, so I'm definitely working on that slowly but surely. I am going to ink these up and do some gold embossing. So I'm going to prep it with my anti-static powder tool. This is from Tailored Expressions. I love this. It works so good. I'm inking up with Versamark clear embossing ink, and then I can sprinkle on my gold embossing powder. And then I'm going to heat that with my heat tool until it's melted, and you'll know it's melted because it will be shiny. I'm going to put those back in place. And there is coordinating dies for this, but I was kind of a ding dong, and I usually tend to line up my sentiments at the bottom. And so after I'd already heat embossed, I realized, oh, I had coordinating dies for these, but I just trimmed them out. But yeah, I just kind of wasn't paying attention. So adding some foam adhesive strips behind my sentiments here. And then I like that little open space there on the left, and I'm going to pop those in place. I didn't adhere the bottom one down yet because I felt like it was a little bit too low, but now I can put this in place. And I do want to finish off with some gold foil confetti. And I'm going to just adhere those down in place, and I will adhere this to a white A2 size card base. And this, we'll take a look at this up close, but this is the first card, and I just think it's so pretty. With all that mirror cardstock and glitter, and I love it. Okay, so here are the wax beads. I'm using Honeybee Stamps pot here, the little wax melter pot. These beads are from Spellbinders. This is the coral mix, and then I have a teal mix, and I think there's like 5 colors in each one, or 6 colors, 5 or 6, I think there's 5. So I was pulling out each of the colors, or 4 colors, yeah, there's 5. So I'm pulling out multiples because I don't do a lot with the wax stuff that often. So I didn't know how much I needed in there, but I did like 6 pieces and it worked. So here's my first one. And as you can see, I just poured it right in the center. I'm going to change that up because I think it blends your colors too much. This is Honeybee Stamps. I think this is their little watercolor mat here. I am using the wax stamper. There is one that's With Love, and then the other one is a flower one, which I'll have listed, or the cherry blossom, and I'll have that listed and linked below. This one I just heated up 2 of the coral colors, and I'm going to pour it onto this. I just want to get the flower. So once I get all that in there, then I have to kind of take the excess off. So what I did with that was I kept heating up my spatula here and getting the excess. So the key is don't put too much wax on here because you'll be digging it off forever. And it did take me a minute, and then I finally figured it out. And now I'm just using the tip of it to really get the stuff that was hanging off the side. I'm going to heat up some of that teal mix, and now I'm pouring it on the outside to the center, and you get more of the color. It doesn't just blend all the colors together. That's kind of what I was talking about before. But look at how pretty that is. So that other wax grabs the one that I added in the center for that flower, and now you have this two-toned look. This is the With Love wax stamper here, and I added a little bit of the gold from the teal in with the coral. Then I have some white birch cardstock from Cardstock Warehouse and some Cipria pink cardstock, excuse me, and I'm going to tear both of those at the bottom. I want this to have a little bit of a little, I don't know, just a little rustic looking, a little bit of wood element in there. I just kind of went that way. And then some gold mirror cardstock because I love it. I'm going to place these here, and the sentiment is actually the stamper that says With Love. Of course, you could add another sentiment. I actually opted to not. I thought it was just kind of fun the way it was. So now that I have those 2 pieces as adhered together, oh my gosh, I can't talk. I'm going to use some hemp cord from Lawn Fawn. I'm going to wrap that around and tie a little knot. And then I can add my little wax pieces here. I'm going to add 2 at the top and then 2 underneath, and the one With Love will go over that knot. So I am going to use some foam adhesive behind these. But something that I did was I added some liquid glue. Because it's wax, I just wasn't completely confident that the foam adhesive would stay adhered to the wax would stay adhered to the foam adhesive, so I do add some liquid glue. So those 2 have liquid glue attaching to the twine, but this is going to have, I've decided when I was holding it here, like I'm going to add some liquid glue back here and then add my foam adhesive, but then it was stuck to my fingers, so I was on the struggle bus. So I decided to place that down, add some more liquid adhesive, and then that would attach to the foam adhesive, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add that piece down, remove the release tape, add some liquid glue, and then place this one down. Then I can adhere this to the gold mirror cardstock and then to the white A2 size card base. I do want to trim a little bit of that excess off there. So let's pop these into place, and then we can take a look at this one up close too. I am going to add some foam adhesive behind this because it has that rope or that twine behind it. The cardstock is not going to lay flat, so I just want to avoid that problem and add some foam adhesive behind it. And let's take a look at this up close. Look at all the fun different colors. The other three I think turned out so much better than that first one because the colors didn't mix as well by the way I was pouring it into the mold. So I think that turned out good. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed this project, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.